On June 5th, 2023, Twitter erupted because the god Yusuke Murata posted a tweet teasing an upcoming celebration for Eyeshield 21's 21st anniversary. And as everyone was giving their praise and excitement, I was sitting in the shadows in total shock. For the past 13 years, there hasn't been a day where I haven't thought about Eyeshield 21. Eyeshield 21 is one of my favorite sports manga of all time, an easy top 10 in my favorite anime/manga of all time. And I mean, the manga alone has some of the most gorgeous art you have ever seen. It is drawn by Yusuke Murata, who is more famously known as the artist of One Punch Man, and it is also written by the author of Dr. Stone, Richiro Inagaki. And I know it's been a while since June 5th, but I've been writing this video for so long and rewriting and doing all these different things just because it's like one of my favorite series, so like I wanted this video to be perfect. So I apologize for taking so long, and I know this might have faded your consciousness after June 5th, but let's talk about Eyeshield 21. So Eyeshield 21 is an American football manga from the early 2000s, and it is super underrated in America. Like, not many people know about it. Sports manga have blown up since the early 2000s, and this manga does not get the love it honestly deserves. Eyeshield 21 follows a young man named Sena Kobayakawa who was bullied his whole life, and because of that, he can run extremely fast. He's been running errands for bullies since middle school, so he has built up these golden legs. And he is recruited by the school devil Yorchi Hiruma to be a running back for Demon High School's non-existent football club, the Demon Devilbats. At first, Sena does not want to do anything with football, and he also has this overprotective whoa mama girl childhood friend named Amori, who's literally like his mom, but super fucking hot, and is trying to protect Sena from anything dangerous and as well as bullies, but through certain circumstances, Sena dons the title Eyeshield 21 and wears an Eyeshield mask to protect his identity and plays for the school as kind of a pseudo superhero. And Hiruma creates this fake narrative that Eyeshield 21 is a famous running back from the Notre Dame Middle School from America who has come from overseas to play for Demon. And now with Sena, there is just Hiruma and Hiruma's friend Krita, who are the three members of Demon Devilbats. And to fill the extra spots of the team, Hiruma actually resorts to blackmailing some of the students to join the football team, while Sena and Krita actually just try to find people that want to play American football. And honestly, it's comedic genius. And so they find 11 players to make up their team, and their goal is to become high school champions and win the Christmas Bowl. And what's unique about the manga is that it is a mixture of a superhero comic and a sports manga. The superhero secret identity of Eyeshield 21 is a great breakaway from a traditional sports manga, and it can keep the initial interest of the reader until the story develops further. I also want to highlight how smart this manga actually is. Before reading Eyeshield 21, I did not know football could be such a complicated sport, and other teams have playbooks, and that's, you know, their plays that they run. But with Eyeshield 21, Demon has a terrible team. Like, their players aren't that good. So Hiruma, the quarterback, has to come up with the smartest big brain plays he can so he can trick his opponents and win games. So every game is him going up against opponents that are so much better than him, but he has a playbook of lies and deceit. And it's just so interesting to see football played from more of a tactical standpoint, because all the plays are exciting and mysterious because you never know what Hiruma is cooking up. And I just don't see that in much sports manga or anime. But I would say the biggest difference between Eyeshield 21 and other sports manga is heart. And that's not to say animes like Kuroko or Haikyuu don't have heart, because they definitely do, and I love both of these series. But Eyeshield 21's level of heart is on a completely different scale than these other sports manga. And one of the best examples I can give of this is from the end of the manga. So spoiler warning for those who haven't read. So one of the very first antagonists of the series, Habashira, comes back at the very end of the story, and it honestly moves me to tears. He starts off as a typical villain who uses deceit and physical harm to beat his opponents, but loses to Demon. And after that loss, he has a remarkable character development and actually changes for the better. He continues to work hard off screen, and he even helps the Devilbats train. And a really cute moment of his is during the final act of the story, or the final championship. Demon is facing the Alexanders to Tokyo, who is the reigning champion of the Christmas Bowl. And the Alexanders have all these like little lackeys that are like 5th string, 6th string for the football team, and they just sent them out to build like a snow statue of their mascot to represent like the overwhelming power of Alexanders. So when the Devilbats arrive, they will be like intimidated by the statue. And Habashira sees this and calls up his biker goons to be like, hey, head down here on Christmas Eve because we have a snow statue to build build, and they build an amazing devil bat statue. So when Damon gets there, they're reinvigorated because they see the Alexander's mascot versus the devil bat mascot, and it just kind of sets the stage for like the final goal of the series, which is the Christmas Bowl. Honestly, some good Habashira moment, but that's not what we're talking about. Fast forward, we have the final tournament of the series, and then in this tournament of high schools from across the world, we have in the finals, of course, Japan versus America. And to even qualify to play for Japan, Habashira had to train and even hide his identity. And during this match, when Shin got hurt, Habashira was the one who stepped in to take his place. Now, Habashira is by all means not a gifted player or even a decent player for that matter, but he found himself in a situation where he is facing guys who are levels beyond him in every category imaginable. And this guy gets humiliated the moment he steps onto the field. The opponents bulldoze straight through him, and everyone makes fun of him for being the weakest player on the field. Habashira is no match for his opponents, but he still struggles in fights with the weapons he has, and in doing so, he creates an opening for Senna to strike and turn the tide of the entire game. This manga doesn't shy away from the talentless players that fill up the story, and it shows that they never stop fighting. This manga is filled with so many characters like that aren't gifted and will probably never make it to the NFL, but despite that, they keep fighting through football because it's not about winning the game, it's about proving to themselves that they aren't worthless. This manga has an innate ability to ignite genuine hype and awe in its readers. I forced my friend Ivan to read the manga during the pandemic, and he couldn't contain himself. He would send me videos sporadically of him getting so inspired by Eyeshield 21, he had to do the stuff that they did in the series. Senna would run a 40-yard dash, Ivan was outside running a 40-yard dash as well, and then when Senna unlocked his most powerful move in the series, the Devil Bat 4th Dimension, Ivan was like, I have to try this out myself, and would take videos and try to replicate this move. But this manga just resonates with its readers on a deeply personal level, reminding us that it's not just about surpassing others, but also about surpassing ourselves. It's about pushing our limits and discovering our true potential, regardless of our natural talents or limitations. And as opposed to most sports anime, a majority of the characters in the series don't even want to play football initially. We have Manta, who was a baseball player turned footballer when he realized he wasn't talented in baseball, but he was talented in football. And then we have Yukimitsu, who's one of my personal favorite characters, and he is your typical academic kid who just took football as an extracurricular, and he was just always regretting that he never did anything in school in his academic life besides studying, and he took up football because he wanted to do something differently, and he actually changed himself for the better, which is honestly a very beautiful character arc, and it's very similar to Habashira's. And then we also have one of my favorite trios in all of anime, the Haha brothers, who are basically the bullies that used to bully Senna, but then joined the team because everyone around them thought they were worthless, and they were like, through football, we are going to prove that we are worth something. And at first, all these characters are roped into playing football through Hiruma or through Senna, but then eventually they find their own reasons and desires to play football, which leads all these characters through beautiful arcs and character development moments that really make them endearing to the reader. And with most manga, there's always that common challenge of ensuring that every character remains relevant and doesn't fade into irrelevancy, but in Eyeshield 21, they are able to tackle this beautifully. We have the initial 11 players of the Demon team, and they have multiple opportunities to shine and develop throughout the series, keeping them engaging and integral to the story. And it's like an 11-piece puzzle. The members all find their roles and strengths and start connecting with each other until you have a complete picture. The puzzle doesn't even complete itself until the very end of the Christmas Bowl, where every character finds their place and role on the team. And the final play of the game is the last puzzle piece of Demon being placed down. And it's so rewarding as a reader to see after 300 chapters that this team that no one believed in, besides the school principal, amounted to something greater than themselves. And I cannot speak highly enough of the journey these characters took me on and the emotions I felt reading this manga. This manga and anime has just meant so much to me over the past 13 years of my life since I read it for the first time in middle school back in 2010, and it has continued to make such an amazing impact on my life. I am beyond excited for the new one-shot, and I hope it brings about talks for an Eyeshield 21 anime revival, because they didn't even finish the source material in that original anime. And right now that tweet by Yusuke Murata is at 19.9 million views since June 5th, so I think we're in a very good position to get talks about an anime revival, but let's just pray to God that it actually happens, because I've been waiting 13 years for this, and if Bleach can come back, so can Eyeshield. And Eyeshield is just such an underrated series that I hope this brings attention for people to go back and read this manga, and if this video can do anything for you guys, I just hope it encourages you guys to either watch the anime or find scans online and read the manga, because this story is worth reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace!